The Butter Battle Book by Dr. Seuss. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather went with me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent, then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old hat, "As you know, on this side of the wall we are Ukes, on the far other side of this wall live the Zooks." Then my grandfather said, "It's high time that you knew of the terribly horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down. But we Ukes, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our bread, Grandpa said, with the butter side up. That's the right honest way, Grandpa gritted his teeth. So you can't trust a Zook who spreads bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched, he has kings in his soul. That's why as a youth I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook, watching border patrol. In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high, and I could look any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I could give him a twitch with my top-tufted prickly sneakberry switch. For a while that worked fine, all the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe. Then one terrible day, a very rude Zook by the name of Banich snuck up and slingshotted by Sneakberry Switch. With my broken up switch, with my head hung in shame, to the chief Yukaroo in great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled, he said, "You're not to blame, and those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you right up in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot." And he ordered the boys in the back room to figure how to build some sort of triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger, I sure felt much bigger. I marched to the wall with great vim and great vigor, right up to Vantage with my hand on the trigger.
Very nice. Okay, next.
"I'll have no more nonsense," I said with a frown. "From Zooks, who eat bread with the butter side down." Then each looked quite sickly. He ran off quite quickly. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day in a spiffy new suit with a big new machine, and his narrow, as he said, looking frightfully mean. "You may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also now have my hand on a trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jiggler rock snatcher, will fling 'em right back just quick as we catch 'em. We'll have no more nonsense. We'll take no more guff from you youths who eat bread with the butter side up. I have failed, sir," I sobbed as I made my report to the chef Yukaroo in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. "You've done nothing at all of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That was old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, dear boy, are not modern enough. All we needed some newfangled kind of gun. My boys in the back room have just now begun to think of developing within a one. My bright boys are thinking. They're on the right track. We'll think one up quick, and we'll send you right back." They thought up a great one. They certainly did. They thought up a gun called the Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with a powerful kickadoo power, an ant's egg, and bee's leg, and dried fried clam chowder. They carefully trained a real smart dog named Daniel to serve us our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched back toward the wall with the heads held up high, while everyone cheered and their cheers filled the sky. "Fight! Fight for the bird side up! Do or die!" Well, we didn't do, and we didn't quite die, but we sure did get worsted for Daniel and I. Ben Itch was there too, and he said, the old pig, the boys in my back room invented this rig called the egg-nozzled, eggplant-toasted boom blitz. It shoots high explosive sour cherry stone pits.
Interesting. Oh, not eggplant. Sorry. Great. That was excellent. Very, very nice.
I'm sorry.
No, no. That's just funny.
And we put your down, keep a food kids in the fridge. So Daniel and I was carried out of our reach. Once more, by Benich, I was bested and beat. Once again, I went home from the war in defeat. I drank and I slept, and my spirits were low, as low as I thought that they ever could go. And I heard of them rock, and I did it indeed. And I brought up band and marched off over the hill. The chief Nikiru had sent them to meet me, along with the right side of songbirds to greet me. They sang, "Oh, the faithful, believe in thy border." They lift my spirits right out of the gutter. My boy, smiled the chief Nikiru, we've just voted and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform's ready. Get in it. The big war is coming. You're going to begin it. And what's more, this time you'll certainly believe me. My boys in the back room have finally flying hard. Just wait till you see what they've poured on now. In their great new machine, you will fly over that wall and cover the border down Zook's one and all. Those boys in the back room sure knew how to putter. They made me a thing called the artist putter, and I jumped aboard with my heart out of water and steered toward the length of the upside-down border. This machine was so modern and so frightfully new. No one knew quite exactly just what it would do, but it had some wonderful step that sprinkled really good. We somehow was sprinkled the zooks as I flew and gum up that upside-down butterbean shoe. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle us zooks, you will get sprinkled as well." But each had a spotter exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My dear brewer is working just fine, and I'm here to say that if zooks can be zooks, you'd better forget it. Cause youths can do youths. I flew right back home, and as you may have guessed, I was downright despondent, disturbed, and depressed.
All right.
So it was the storm and the fact that I went. So a lot of the girls in the world of them, the chief was in Zuki and Sue said that was a pretty sour fright that you flew, and the chief crew has been looking for you. I raced to his office. The place was a flat. Have no fears, said the chief. Everything is all right. My bright back young boys have been brighter than bright. They've thought up the gadget that's newer than new. It is filled with mysterious moon canoe and can blow all the ships clear to Salamago. They've invented the BC before Umaru. You just run to the world like a nice little man. Drop this bomb on the ship just as fast as you can. I have ordered the yukes to stay safe on the ground while the BC before Umaru is around. As I raced through that world with the bomb in my hand, I noticed that every youth in our land was obeying our chief recruit's green command. They were all bravely marching with banners of water down the hall for their country and right side of border. That's when grandfather found me. He grabbed me. He said, "You should be down that road, and you're up here instead. But perhaps this is all for the better
buffalo's whip. Then he cleared his horse throat with a buffalo's whip. He screamed, here's the end of that terrible town full of Zooks who eat bread with the border side down. And at that very instant, we heard the clup clup of feet on the wall, and old Benich crept up. The voice in his bedroom had made him on too. In his feet was another before tomorrow. I blow you, he yelled into fork and ribbons piled for by the with small smotherings. Grandpa, I shouted, be careful, Rosie, who's going to drop it, will you or will he? Be patient, said Grandpa. We'll see, we will see.